Hello everyone, welcome back to the smoke room. Today I have two updates to voice because not only is Murdoch done, but there's one for Nikolai as well. So let's just get into this. We're gonna do Murdoch first, latest update. Yes, I know, I've already played all of it. Oh boy. Right, this bitch. Right, she said something along the line. I think she quoted the Bible verse. Whoever is without sin may cast the first stone. And then she got hit with the stone. So, I love that. I love that so much. Oh my god. This bitch deserves it. She deserves everything that comes her way. I look in the direction from where I think the stone was thrown. There's the house behind us and the tall fence. I turn a corner and see if anybody is crouching down. There's nobody. I do, however, notice that the bathroom window is cracked open. I can see the shine of somebody's glasses before it backs up into the dark. The more I stare, it looks like two pairs of glasses. From another direction, the garden gate creaks. Ralph gives us all something of a furtive look. Faulting again, are we? At least have the decency to wait for me to get a few jobs in. He grins, waiting for somebody to give him a saucy reply. But it's just quiet. Real quiet. All other eyes are on him as his smile wanes, his brows furrow, and he spins, closing the latch on the door. Holly starts stepping toward him as he looks behind the shoulder. Ew. Yeah, me. Scar down again, but he shouldn't have. She swats with a bag. You threw the rock at me, didn't you? And his arms confused. Admittedly, the idea is peeling right now, but I don't think my pay rate is that high. She slaps him. Harley. That's not his voice. Whatever. Ralph's head moves with the force of the smack. Then he rolls his head back into position, just like one of those roly-poly toys. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's probably not the first time he's been hit. Rubs his cheek like he's feeling the heat spread out of it. You look like you need to get that out of your system. Oh, you bet I did. You have no right to accuse me of anything. Yeah, actually, he does. You're a cunt, and you deserve to be torn apart by that spider monster. He nodded his head. Oh, don't I? I fucked up again. Oh, don't I? She sucked her teeth. This just confuses me. I'm pretty sure he didn't throw the rock, but it looks like he's enjoying Holly's reactions against him. To be honest, I'd enjoy this bitch being angry too. Anything that upsets her would be fucking joy for me. Don't start with me now. Don't I, Holly Burns? Fucking great, I keep ruining it. He raises the high. Oh, okay. Wow. Don't I, Holly Burns? I did that completely wrong, but whatever, I didn't. This always happens, guys. Whenever you're doing one of these for the channel, for YouTube, they always do this shit. Looks like she's about to say something, but then closes her mouth and glares. He didn't throw the rock, you know. Murdoch and Holly say what at the same time. Bathroom window opens and a small voice carries from the window. I'll wake mother and father from their sleep. If you all don't stop yelling. It was the younger sister. Truth be told, I'm surprised I ain't awake considering all the yelling. Living this close to the train makes them accustomed. Fucking great, I keep fucking this up. Living this close to the train makes them accustomed to your fucking Christ. That is not his voice. Dahlia! You look grandma, you know. I don't care. Did you throw this rock from the window? He hums in a sprightly manner. From up here, that rock doesn't look like an asteroid. Only rocks I've ever interested in are asteroids. But sometimes you discover something you don't want to find when you turn them over. She hums again, this time in a more questioning tone. Isn't your fiancé the rock expert? Jim doesn't say anything. Perhaps you should consult him on such matters, since you're so close. With that, she closes the window pane in the bathroom. We all stand in the garden for a while as the crickets chirp. God, I hope this cunt gets what's coming to her. I'm not looking at the rock. I know you're not looking at the fucking rock. Crickets just keep chirping. Jim keeps rubbing his face and smacks his fist into his open palm. You're bluffing, aren't you? Have you known me to be a gambling woman, Jim? You can stir out frustration. Who'd you give these... Fucking Christ. Who'd you give the envelopes to, Holly? Her lips tighten. She leans her head back to sift a dangling piece of fur out of the way of her eyes. Our sister, our grandmother, one of my oldest confidants. Porter Moore. Jim's eyes go wild. What if they snoop, Holly? I wouldn't give it to them if I thought they were... I wouldn't give it to them if I thought they were going to snoop. Well, she's right in some ways about her younger sister. But apparently she didn't have the foresight to expect that she'd burn the damn thing. They don't have as good of a relationship as I earlier thought. But what if they snoop? She's repeating the question into a rage. Simpering is turning into snarls. Good. It should have been that to begin with. Oh yes, because you decide you don't want to marry me anymore, I'm gonna fucking ruin your life and possibly get you killed? Yeah, fuck you. God, this fucking cunt. I don't think I'll be able to hold myself back as well as these two if somebody made a threat like that to my face. Thank you, Sam! Exactly. That's pretty much my thought process. Suppose that's the difference in the cloth we're cut from. But it don't concern me. At this point, I really don't care how these two settle their grievances. If Murdoch's exposed, being with him is going to be a hell of a lot harder. And that does concern me. If I let Murdoch go through with this wedding, that sends a message that Holly's permission to do something like this again. I can tell it's not going to stop her from doing something worse in the future. She's become accustomed to a particular kind of lifestyle with her role as the eldest sibling in a wealthy family. She's gonna take care of her brother and sister in the ways that she's learned, using the tactics she's known will work. I don't think it's her fault alone just letting it get as bad as it did. Murdoch isn't innocent either. He's become comfortable with this particular type of lifestyle too. Know that he knows that. But looking at this any other way, I don't know what else he can do. He's either got to get all those photos or go through with this all, just making sure to keep his mouth shut. That would just make it Jim's problem, not ours. Right. Not our problem. Why don't we all just go through the motions without officiating the marriage? His muzzle snaps in my direction like she's surprised I'm still here. But even more surprising to me is that she responds. Because I want a husband, not a performance. Yeah, well, fuck you, bitch. You don't get one if you're gonna threaten him like that. You fucking Karen. Voice is a low hiss. But you're so fond. You're so fond of those, I'm finding out. My disappointment is very real, make no mistake. He's laughing now, almost yelping. That's exactly what I'll do then. I'll make no mistakes and then leave town. And I'll make sure they hunt you down. You have a good job, don't you, Jim? He eyes me suspiciously. Money's good, yes. Why not lose some of it instead of all of it, then? Ain't nobody gonna get hired if they're plastered for sodomy on the front page of the New Sunday paper. Points. Because it still means that she'll have none of it. Points with his index claw at Holly. Not a cent. Whatever, bruh. Whatever, bruh. Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever, bruh. Fuck! Whatever, brother. There's twitchy when I say it. Ah, there it is. He's just as false. He didn't enjoy any of that. Now, Mr. Sterling. Touch his shoulder and he flinches. My snout touches his ears and I'm whispering now. We both know that ain't entirely true. He always finishes, don't he? You shivered a bit. You smell that shy trace of excitement in the air from him. What are you talking about over there? Murdoch was staring with a placid kind of look. Whether it was true or not didn't matter. Jim had no compassion to spare for his bride did not. Why the fuck should he? Why the fuck should he? I hated him too because of what he called the suffragettes, but holy shit, this cunt has it coming. But he was wounded, and I could tell he wanted somebody to tend those wounds. From my suggestion, I could hear the shift of his suit fabric. Oh, for fuck's sake, Sam. Fucking Christ. Now? You're gonna look for fucking money now while your friend is... Fuck the God. Great, I guess I'm gonna have to fucking pause the video. Wow, I'm keep fucking this up. Only a modest share of my salary, then. Holly blinked. She looked at me almost impressed, but the look didn't last long. Enough for permanent housing. It'll be done then. Can't guarantee I'll be home very often. She grimaces. Well, you know the idiom. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. That's not true at all. Certain situations it is, but in this situation, fuck no. Perhaps she'll come around in time. Ah, yes, he'll come around from being fucking gay, totally. He scoffed. I'd rather lose track of it given up to drink. That's as much as you like, so long as you're at that ceremony at least at 9 a.m. It'll be done then. So where are you going now? The guest house my friends are staying at. I don't want them to come tomorrow. She squints. And don't you think they'll ask why? I simply don't wish to give them the memories. But don't worry. I was already upset with them before your schemes. They understand discretion. They had better. He and Holly turn away from each other and in opposite directions and begin to walk. He turns back to look at Murdoch one more time. Holly doesn't look back at all. Jim disappears out of the rose gate and Holly walks up the facing the back door of her home. She grabs the handle and squeezes. But she's interrupted by a hemming sound. Why won't you out the beach, Holly? His voice is soft but dangerous. Murdoch is shaking his head quickly, but the rat's ignoring him. It's an odd thing for him to say. It has nothing to do with what we just talked about it. And none of us were at the lake today. She spins around to stare. The corners of her mouth curl into a sneer. Because I was a child. And my friends were giving me the best day in my life. That's a very pretty non-answer. Yet it's all you're getting. You nasty, vindictive little man. She's left down, arms crossed, head nodding. You're emptier than wine flutes in the cupboard. Turns around once again and pulls the door open and slips inside. Ralph spits on the dirt. She doesn't feel a bit of shame. It's like she doesn't know how. gonna start chirping again now that all the shouting has stopped. What's all this about the beach? Use your fucking head. Ralph grunts. He lowers his voice and whispers in my ear. I swear she said she was the day we lost his brother. Murdoch was sitting on the bench staring at the trellis. She was at the beach like she said. She would have saw her into with the boat from the shore front. All that boat does is just putt around the middle of the lake. She says she didn't say it. You don't just simply miss the damn riverboat. Fucking crap. I keep subbing to it an accent thing as what the fuck ever. It is a pretty damn big boat. I think she's hiding something then. Ralph looks like he's thinking. And he decides to speak again. I'll bet it's something that would be nothing to people like us. Everything is somebody like her. Everything like her. Either way, she meant that she lied, but she refuses to be specific. To be cool about this, given the circumstances of the day, it's strange. Deeply strange. I just want to know that she really felt something. Ralph, Sam. He turned to Murdoch's voice. It was barely louder than a whisper. Did you see where Holly tossed that rock she got hit with? You can see it sitting in one of the rose bushes. It's not a very big... dash dot. I don't think this is Morse code, but it might be. It might be Morse code, and because of that, I am going to write it down because I feel the need and want to. So, yeah. Dash dot dot I'm fucking this up, I know I am. This might not even be Morse code, but I'm just making sure. Because if it is, then I can translate it. Should be pretty easy. It's not a very big rock, it's fairly light, and it fits in the center of my palm pretty easily. Looks just like an ordinary piece of granite, like with a spiral scratched into it. Murdoch makes a few clicking sounds with his tongue while he looks at it. We should head back to the apartment. We need to be prepared for tomorrow. Walking our way. Oh my. Walking my way down to. I'm sorry. I can't help but think about Ralph and Holly. I actually didn't like one another before, but that was something else. Well, I mean, I fucking hate that bitch, and I like Ralph, so neither of them seem like the kind of people I'd want to cross. I wonder for a moment if I should go back to the hip, clean my bedroom, but I feel like Murdoch needs company tonight. He's not telling me to go home when we get to his door, nor is he shooing me to the couch when we're in his bedroom. Maybe this is just for the convenience of the wedding. With all that's happened in other people's lives, we haven't exactly had time for just us. I still haven't quite processed that I'm dating this man now, and I'm the only one who knows about it. You want to talk about tonight? Fucking goddamn it! Okay, so that went on for longer than I thought it would. Basically what you missed was Murdoch and Sam discussing the events of the day. Murdoch said that he actually likes Jim. He doesn't hate Jim. Sure, apparently Jim can be ignorant, as is showcased with some of his sexism, but he's only really bad when he's with his friends. Because his friends do not look at people like Murdoch and just Jim in general as people, basically. he said that basically because this is the 1900s, is 1915, back when the majority of decisions in this country were made by the wealthy and the aristocracy in America at the time. And this is around the period where where the middle class started to gain more and more say in this. And because of that, the elites looked to them and talked to them and stuff, but they're only doing it to get more power. They don't see them as equal to them, and they think that they were lesser, basically. And that still happens today. Don't get me wrong. It's always been a thing in history where the rich and powerful look down on like the middle class and the poor, and they just think they're lesser than them. But basically, he's saying that that's why his friends don't like the marriage of them, but Holly and Jim. And then Sam said, "I don't like your sister or trust her," and said that they should get the paintings back. Murdoch brought up his grandmother and said that they have a good relationship, which I honestly really want to see his grandmother. That'll be interesting. They also brought up Porter Moore, so I hope he shows up because I really like I really like the Moores. I just like seeing more. I like seeing Flynn's basically. Um, they also mentioned that Beckett, he's Porter Moore is into the occult apparently. Well, we knew that, but still. And then Murdoch talked about his paintings, photos. I mean, not paintings. He said that he takes thousands of replications of the same photos, and he can show the effect of the town through these distortions that show up in them. Because his whole idea with that is that what we see with light and all that, what we're able to visualize, is just our approximation of the world. It's the best that we're able to make out and see, and who knows what is outside of our perception, basically. Which that thought has always fucking scared me. And it's back in my head now, because I remember when I first really started into philosophy, and I learned about Descartes' demon and a lot of stuff with Descartes and stuff. Um, it scared me because I genuinely couldn't sleep because of those ideas. Anyway, they basically Sam just had a wank and then they fell asleep. That's what happened after they discussed all that. I expected to have nightmares last night, but I didn't. I haven't heard any voices lately either, but that doesn't make me feel any better. Part of me wishes I could hear them again just to remind myself how wrong everything feels about this morning. Murdoch is cleaning and dressing himself. Ralph put on a kettle on the stove and we can hear it whistling. We're all going about the motions in silence as if it were an ordinary day. Murdoch heads to the door, but Ralph stops him before he can squeeze the handle. Going so soon? I want to be at the house early to make sure there aren't any unnecessary setbacks. We ain't even had breakfast. Please don't worry on my behalf. You should both eat. I'll find something small at the house if I grow peckish. That's closer to the voice I gave him, but not there. He leaves before Ralph can interrupt him. Ralph puts his glass down and looks at me. What? Bit of a bad notion to suggest he keeps Jim wrapped around his finger, ain't it? Sip the glass of water I've been given, slowly. Might as well cut in with your good ideas. Good ideas, then, since you can hear everything on the other side of the wall. What else can he do? He should have called the bluff. It ain't no bluff. I've seen the evidence. Ralph rubs his temples. Because she wants to convince you that she has the power to make that call. She doesn't. Last thing that Holly Burns wants to do is look as though she failed her mother. If those pictures get out, she loses what she's worked for years. And the blame will come down on her too. She knows that. Still too much of a race for anybody to tell her no. which is the kind of explanation somebody like her will count on. I don't know what's worse, how pitifully shallow this little scum is, or the fact that she knew everyone performed for it. Why try when something works? Because it wouldn't if he could escape them. We both know by now he needs to stop depending on this family, or else they will use up everything he is and leave nothing left. And here you are telling him to lean into that. Till we can find those photos. I shrug. Yeah. If there ain't no way to stop using him, might as well learn to use them back, right? Wrong! Holly's sloppy, but do you think the same could be said of their mother? He needs to establish his boundary, not stretch his own further. Might be uncomfortable first, but that's part of why they push him so hard. They know he'll allow it. He's comfortable with that position. If you think he's doing everything wrong, then why are you still sticking around? Because I've still got a profitable setup here, and I still need to save up. That means playing a song and dance on occasion for the delusional people. They don't bother me much when I tell them no. And Murdoch is in a position where he can't without a blow up. I say well overdue for a blow up, and I can't even guarantee I'm the one who's going to do it first. I stand out to intimidate him, but he doesn't flinch. I'll give you a day, but I won't give you forever. Tick-tock, lover boy. Scarf down the fried egg and 3. Jesus Christ, okay. Hungy. Leave the plate in the counter and turn my back on him, headed toward the door. When I'm outside, it takes most of my restraint not to slam it closed. The fucking gall. Everybody I meet is lazy and their unstoppable force, but it's like they're blind and can't see that they keep bouncing into one another. Murdoch has been setting more boundaries. He's been trying. But where is he going to go if everything goes sideways? Doubt he'd want to spend the rest of his life hiding in my goddamn bedroom. I'm not used to being so early that it's still dark. I look in the door and wait. Expect one of Murdoch's parents or the siblings to greet me, but I'm staring at the face of a stranger. She's a fox, but her... Yes! I wanted to meet his grandma. That's cool. She's a fox, but her fur is gray, and she's wrapped mostly in scarves. She teeters back and forth as she moves and squints through her glasses when she looks at my face. Socks told me there might be someone else coming. Socks. I think that's a nickname Ralph gave Murdoch once, but it's strange hearing a stranger say it. You're one of his friends, yes? Yeah. He turns around and starts hobbling away deeper inside the house. Come on into my living room. There's something about this woman that gives me hard to place feelings. Not bad ones, but not good ones. It's the same kind of feeling you get when you're in a church. I know that feeling. I know that feeling well. You can't help but feel like you're walking in on something that's been here before you were born and will be here long after. It's not to say I think this little will outlive me. You might be wrong there, buddy. You don't know what's gonna happen. And I don't know what's gonna happen either. But she has a big presence that makes me feel like mine is shrinking in the shadow of her footsteps. I notice you mentioned this is your living room. Don't this place belong to Gretchen, Alfred? She shakes her head quietly. Not without my money. Well, you don't live out here, do you? No. I only visit for critical family matters. Living here is an act of hubris. The perfect challenge for my daughter. She turns to me and squints. Doesn't she know the soil's bad? She says it like it's obvious. Do you mean the roses? She squints again. She shakes her head. No, not the roses. Oh, roses of all things. In the desert. She pokes at the logs in the fireplace to cook up the ember. Now there's an eternal conquest. She puts another piece of firewood down. But enough about plants. I meant a common kind of sense that isn't so common anymore. Everybody should know that if you want to live in a place with good soil, you need goodwill and good people. Usually, to do that, you and your family's family had to treat the place right for a long time. But sometimes folks get lucky with their neighbors, and there's plenty of harmony to go around already. If a place isn't convivial due to the goodwill and the care of the people, you can plant roots that spread deep. The attitude of the people who live somewhere reflected in the place. She looks around and shakes her head. You can probably see what I mean. You're a tourist like me. How do you figure that? She looks me up and down again. You don't have the feel of a local. What gives you that idea? Well, your clothes are clean, your hands look soft, and your shirt's buttoned awfully low. You work in entertainment. Yeah. She nods firmly and goes back to poking the coals. How old is she? Because the first hysteria was in the 1800s. So she could have actually been present at the first hysteria, and she could be talking about that. Ooh, that's, yeah, I like sort of piecing together the genealogy of these people. I noticed that she's heating something over the flames, but it doesn't smell like food. I used to think this place wasn't so good when I first came here, but it was always less bad than home. Everybody needs a house, but a house is not a home. Homes come after the house. People get that backwards. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. No. She needs to pick up my tone regardless. I'm saying that people can make a house into a home. The same way a town is people. The same way a city is people. These things all come from people, and the kinds of people get reflected in the homes, the town, the cities. Look at this town. I know my daughter insists it's a city, but it's still a town in my eyes. I can tell that there are attempts to make things right. There's some good people doing good here, but it's not the kind of good that bounces back from catastrophe. You lose your entertainment halls, and you lose your mines, you lose your people, but that's all backwards. There needs to be room for that kind of resilience. A community will give life to a home when it breaks down. But a community ready to leave the moment that happens makes ruins out of their buildings no matter how new the paint is. I expect her to keep on going in the way that older folks do, but then she stops, takes hold of a chair, and coughs. Starts as a bit of a wheeze, but then turns into all-out hacking cough that racks her body. She's finished, she wipes the tears from her eyes. Sorry about that. Bad air. This old woman better not die when I'm all alone by myself with her. I'm going to lose my mind. Is there really nobody around the house to help you? I've been taking care of myself for over 70 years, so I don't think I'd let 'em. And I have work to do before the church bells ring for my granddaughter. She gestures at the pot on the hearth. What is that? The purest silver for a coin casting. I wouldn't give Mr. Sterling my blessing if he wouldn't provide the silver himself. Don't rely on a man who won't pay. She gets it. I think she might be my favorite family member. Sam, honestly, you're not alone. I like wise mentor figures a lot. I see you smiling. You agree with me. It's a pretty certain reassurance. Much better than blackmail. I lose my train of thought. Were you around last night? Lad, you could wake the dead with that argument. But of course, my daughter and her husband still managed to sleep through it. I appreciate you standing by Socks, though. He has fewer helpers than heaven these days by the looks of it all. She goes to the couch and receives a little orange envelope from a velvet green bag. She hands it to me. Is this? Saw me grandson's welly enough times when he was barely a few months old. I don't need to see it again when he's a grown man. I exhale. Funny that you're the second person your granddaughter's given photos to who just got rid of them. She nods forcefully and pokes at the envelope. That one's always had a bad habit of taking the rest of the family for granted. She can put the men in line, but she has yet to realize how poorly she contends with the other women. So why are you telling me this? That makes her bark out laughing. Because, laddie, please don't take offense when I see this, but outsiders aren't considered a threat. The Rowans have always survived so long as they support their own. But when I see what this from this side of the family has been, let's say, mixed for now, I've done most of what I can do with this time on this planet, so the rest is up to the coming generations. I hear the wood creak upstairs. Can't tell if it's a natural strain at the house or if somebody's up there. Are you sure there's nobody else in the house? He looks up. Nobody you should be, at least. Do you think she'd have the negative entities in her bedroom? Most likely. It's been hers alone long after the wee kits moved out. You're thinking of looking for them, aren't you? Now without your permission. Like you said before, you own the house. You learn quickly. She's quick in turn to give me instructions to the bedroom. I wouldn't stay longer than 10 minutes unless you mean to be caught. Right. I remember this used to be a child's bedroom when I see it doesn't have a lock. An uneasy sense of guilt puts my hair on edge when I think about being in someone else's bedroom without permission. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm gonna pause here and discuss what just happened there. I hope you liked my old person voice. I've been trying to make it better, honestly. But, yeah. I really like that character. She seems like the best one of the family so far, yeah. Um, that entire discussion there about the how the town is influenced by its people more than anything else is really interesting and also in line with what we know of the Echo entity and the town itself. So I'm really interested in seeing where this goes because I want more of her. I want more of that character. I want her to elaborate more on what she meant there. What the fuck? And it doesn't help that Holly Burns' bedroom looks exactly how I thought it would look. Everything looks like it has a perfect place. From the bags, the dresses hanging. You know what? I'm gonna go get a weapon, cause I don't feel safe right now, and yeah. See you in a sec. Okay, I've got my knife. I've got bed knife. I keep a knife under my mattress because I don't trust like that. I don't trust like that at all. Let's get back to this. From the bags of jewelry, the dresses hanging from the stands, the glass cases draped in jewelry. The vanity overflowing perfume to the smartly cut curtains that let just the right amount of light into the room. This bedroom is beyond upkept. Oh, so she has no personality. She's a bland, boring individual. Got it. Although I want this. I want this bookcase. I want this in my room. What the fuck is going on? Okay, it's just the fucking game. It's curated. I fucking swear. It's gonna give me a heart attack. Oh my fucking god, I hate that. It's curated. Which means it's my least favorite kind of room to snoop around in. You snooped around in other rooms, Sam? Fucking Christ, stop! Stop. Stop. Yeah, I'm turning that way down. In fact, I'm turning it off. I hate that so much. If anything is moved without care, she'll notice. This room is without doubt built for comfort, which means that she'd probably want to keep something like the photograph negatives out of mind, out of sight. When I think about places to hide things, I think about the floorboard in my room at the hip. If somebody doesn't have something like that, my mind drifts toward hiding things under the bed or stuffing them deep inside the closet. So first I crouch down and look under her bed. There's a box under there, alright. And it doesn't even look dusty. I pull it with one hand and get surprised by the weight of it. So I pull it all the way out. I can see it's a simple crate with shreds of sawdust on it. But inside are smooth white crystals that are so round they look like eggs. They're pretty. And pretty weird. But not what I'm looking for. I'm sorry, you can hear it in my voice. That fucking shh sound fucking got to me really bad. I push the crate back under the bed. Time for the closet. It's not a very big closet, which I suppose makes sense. It was built for children. But as I open it, I'm shocked by how much is stuffed into there. She has quite the suit and dress collection and many pairs of shoes. So she's a tomboy. Or was a tomboy. What am I saying? This is the fucking 1900s. She wouldn't have been allowed to wear anything like that. The top is so stacked with boxes that if I remove one thing, it has the danger of all tumbling down. So I have to go through each box one by one and replace it. I do find a box of photos, but they seem perfectly innocent. There's another box, full of rocks again. Is this what she and Jim had in common? I don't know if I should touch them. Time for... I fucking hate this. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? I fucking hate this so much. Shit. I see what hit me. It's just a stiff full of carpet that got me right between the neck and the shoulder. I step back, feeling the pain spread dully throughout my body, and it falls to the ground, unrolling partially. Looks like an old blanket that you find outside. Maybe on somebody's porch that's worn down by the elements. Maybe as cushioning over the hay in the back of a wagon. It's not something I'd expect to find in a bedroom so much as an attic or a storage room. But stare at it a little longer. Would I mistake for a large, rust-colored pattern that covers almost half the rug is in fact a stain? I'm pretty sure it's the color of dry blood. My mind starts racing. Why would she have this? What does this mean? Is this from a person or from an animal? I think about that girl in the graveyard. Blythe Washington, the one who took my money. She said the teacher doctors weren't listening when they talked about missing friends. Holly Burns does not strike me as a murderer. A blackmailer, yes. Underhanded, absolutely. But a killer? That doesn't add up. Nonetheless, she'd have to know this was here, wouldn't she? So what does that mean? Good morning, Mother Rowan. Shit. You already said that before you left. Shit. To roll this carpet up again and quickly. Well, it's still a good morning. All things willing. Once it's rolled back up, I try to push it back above the boxes, but it gets stuck on the frame. Roll on one side is too thick. What are you back for? Just my pocket watch. Push the carpet in hard until I hear it give, scraping against the side of the door. I push it up and in. It fits inside just as I hear Alfred walking up the steps. Either I gotta jump out a window or wait for him to enter a room and sneak by. So I hear the steps stop, creak, another door open. I decide to open Holly's door to the hall. There's nobody there. I walk as quickly as I can and as quietly as I can until I reach the stairs, then descend. The moment I turn my tail toward the hall, the sound of footsteps from the stairs follow. Granny Rowan hands me the fire poker as Alfred enters the room. What's the store help doing here? Stopped by earlier to help, and I told him I could use an assistant. You didn't say he was here. Didn't ask, did you? Well, it's a fine time for him to show up. I need the help carrying to the church. Taking my help, are ya? Not like I need any. Bye, but buy an old woman a slice of coffee cake before you take a manservant, won't ya? Alfred looks on amused by the jab. He directs me to the stairs and turns on a light bulb. The Burns basement is filled with boxes and boxes of stuff. Iron casings for pans that look like they're missing lids. Various planks of wood. Parts of what look like a sewing machine or a loom that are out of commission. Tainted plates, some of which are cracked. It's very tight and very dingy. Not exactly new to manual labor, so the faster we get out of here, the better. Tell me what to haul and I'll take it, sir. The man is just sifting through boxes. Sir? No need to be hasty, son. But hasty is exactly what I need to want to be. This place is making my nose wrinkly. Looks like Granny likes ya. That's good. She doesn't usually take to plain old working folk. Must see something special in ya. I don't know how to follow that up. About asking what we're looking for when he speaks up again. Murdoch does too, doesn't he? He shuffles through the boxes. You're both real close, ain't ya? He's pretty good for a boss, sir. Alfred stops, stands, and turns. He chuckles a bit. Good for a boss. His smirk dies. Boy, I'm your boss. Damn right you are. Sir. His face cracks up and he starts to laugh. You think Murdoch's a good boss? He's a shit boss. His laughter dies down a little and he turns around, crouching, looking through the cardboard. But he's a good boy. Real good boy. He settles into a whisper. It's flatter than before. No bad taste in people. No, not him. Takes off his eyeglasses and starts to clean them. Do you have any, regrets, Mr. Ayers? I regret that I'm not a mind reader so I could find out we need to leave. Suppose so. You ever lost a son? Can't say I've ever got nobody pregnant. That would be impossible for more reasons than one. What does that mean? Not just the gay. What do you mean by what? Good on you for that, Mr. Ayers. Good God rewards the chat. Fuck off. Well, that's too fucking bad. Not like I think God rewards anybody anyhow. Today it feels as if I'm losing a daughter. You become a better person, I think, when you learn to lose the things you love. Let's stop thinking about the things that you love and focus on things in the basement. You let go. You become a better man. If more people rose to that challenge, then what a world it would be. Oh, what a world it would be. Cleaner, for sure. Right. Our towel, what we're looking for? No. It's a silverware set. I've been saving it for years. It'll be somewhere around the floor, but everybody just messes with my things down here. It shouldn't be. You get down on your knees, there might be something under one of the tables. I would do it, but my legs are bad. Just stay in the opposite end of the room and give me space, and I'll go for it. Of course. Lower myself to the basement floor, and it's filthy. Yeah, I would expect so. The bricks are covered completely with dust, and there's dark splotches. Great, there's fucking black mold. I lift a sheet and look for some. There's an old box with hinges that looks promising. Handle is cold to the touch. It scrapes along the bricks as I pull it out from under the table. Oh boy, spoopy time. This ringing a bell. Look to the old fox, he's just standing around a corner staring at me. He doesn't respond, but I think he expects me to open it. There's just clothes in it. Kid clothes. But they didn't belong to Murdoch, they probably belonged to his brother. Morbid that they're still down here. They're saying it. Mr. Burns still isn't saying much. I push it back under the table and crouch down again. This time there's a thin, heavy box that clattered when I move it. Oh, this could be it. She'll walk past me and shudder. Mr. Burns, please don't do that. He's in a different corner of the room now, pulling sheets from a box. I think he's examining them. The box that I have turns out to be metal Christmas ornaments built from wire and string. I'm disappointed to put them under the table again. Let's give another try. Much as I'd like my mind to be elsewhere. Well, I'm down here on the dirty floor once again as my lover's dad plays with sheets. I still can't stop thinking about the carpet in Holly's room. She has to know that it's there, right? She is away from her room at the school long enough to not know if it were put there. But if it wasn't her, then who? As I ask myself this, I come across another suitcase that was thinner than the last one. This one has a nice snap to it when I do it with buckles. The dim shine of the cellar lights after to see the gold sparkle coming from the box. I can see forks and spoons. This is definitely it. I flinch as I bump into something. Box I took out earlier opens and overturns and opens, spilling some of the clothes on the ground. I expect Mr. Burns to start yelling at me, but he's in the corner still moving on from the sheets and messing with more boxes. One of the sheets is over his head. I can hear something, but it's muffled. I begin to stand up, waiting for him to take off the sheet, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. I can see the outline of his muzzle shifting below as he breathes or talks or whatever he's doing under there, like the marks left in the sand after the wind changes it. It seems as though he's forgotten where he is for the moment. I doubt we have much time. Oh my fucking god. Stupid fucking phone. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh my. Coincidentally, shake him, and I just fucking jumped. Like, it ain't Halloween, Mr. Burns. Still nothing. Mr. Burns, I found the silverware. You're born to fish, you know that. Well, I'm terrible at fishing, but I do like it. doesn't matter if you disturb the waters when you weren't supposed to. That happens to the best of us. What? All you need to do is close your eyes and cast it out. The breeze is nice today. After this, we'll all sleep easy. It dawns on me he's not talking to me by now. I see that he's touching an old fishing pole, so I take the sheet off of his face. What I expect to see is the dazed expression of a doddering old fool, but what I see is a terrible face. His brow is so tightly furrowed that I can see the black behind his face, and the dark of his gums are curled so tightly that I can see every single one of his teeth. He has the look of a man who awoke from his dream and hates me for ready to snap my throat. But this too seems like a passing dream for him. He relaxes and looks at the case in my hand and sighs a breath of relief. Took us long enough. He chuckles and snatches the case from my paw as if nothing as if nothing over the course of the last few seconds ever happened. He takes a moment to open the case and look through it, eyes bright like paintings of Santa Claus. So here's a fun fact. Santa Claus originally came from a sort of, I think it's a Norse word, Sinterklaas or something like that. If I remember correct, it's like Sinterklaas, and from there it just became Santa Claus as American culture developed and stuff. If this will do us fine, Mr. Ayers, you carry this to the wedding venue. Where is the wedding venue? They still haven't told me. You one of those Mormons or something? Baptist. At least I used to be. Better, but still shouldn't have asked. The venue is at the church next door. It's the church next door to the temple. We hold most of the ceremony on the veranda. He grunts as we walk up the stairs, and it's a little off-putting, but I'm just grateful to be out of this cellar. It already feels easier to breathe once we get into the hallway. Right past our living room, Murdoch's grandmother is gone. Is she gonna be okay? Don't ask me. She usually is. The walk downtown is made a little trickier with the heavy silverware set I'm holding. For a summer morning, it's still very hot. I'm gonna have to hose myself down before we're dressed if I want to be fresh. Sam was Baptist. Oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. Fuck no. Fuck the Baptists. They fucking suck. Oh, man, do they suck. Ugh. Ugh. As we approach the venue, I can't help but feel impressed. It's the most packed I've ever seen a church in Echo. Well, at least a church site. I still have the bed knife in my hand because I don't trust like that. The temple next door looks nearly empty as always. Turns out veranda is just a fancy word for a porch. Yeah, Sam. Pretty much. I see Murdoch's sisters, his mother and his grandmother fussing about, along with some other laborers and a handful of elder women I've never seen before. Everybody looks stressed out, still putting the last touches and everything. Gretchen, oh right, the mother. Oh good, we have the utensils finally. Murdoch's mother stalks toward me in maybe the most expensive outfit I've ever seen. Oh boy. At least it actually looks nice to wear, unlike some of the shit that, like, rich people nowadays are wearing, like, good lord. Here I thought we were going to tell the guests they'd be using the pine cones. I shift a bit. Where do you want me to put it down? She shakes her head, looking me over me doubtfully. Just give it to the caterers. There's no party without a heavy labor. What, to make the party, it calls for a much more delicate touch. Sure. Where are they? Morning, Samuel. Oh. Hi there. Murdoch smothered makes a grand gesture with her hands to Cynthia, then walks away, heels clicking quickly as she moves. So what are you doing here? Who else is gonna cater fine dining, Neko? Boy. The silver dollar? She lets out a loud laugh. Why pay for the silver experience when you can afford the gold? Is that the line you gave people in the bar? It could be. Besides, Echo's little suffragette party was invited to attend. What, the party waits men? Cynthia's composure falls and she does a full body recoil. Sam, don't let anybody hear let you say something so stupid or throw your ass flat out. Well, I don't really know what they're about. I try not to get involved in government. They're the right to vote party, Sam. Oh. She crosses her arms. Yeah. Well, I support that. Uh-huh. My cheek's getting redder. It's more complicated than that, but I don't want to look any more stupid than I already do. I'm gonna go help things get ready. I got stuff to do. Bye. Grief. I can feel her eyes on my back as she stares me down. Oh boy. Well, there are some women that hate men, and those women are called misandrists, but suffragettes were not misandrists. The good thing about church is you can always depend upon them to be empty. Or, well, at least mostly empty. There's a pew near the front. Holly and Jim are sitting there in silence, dressed in their wedding clothes. I swear, traditional weddings are so fucking retarded. They're just so fucking retarded. Oh yes, let us spend $26,000 or more on a fucking single day just because we are vain and want people to know about our wedding. Like, give me a fucking break, you narcissistic pricks. Just sign a fucking piece of paper and get it over with. I know for a fact when I marry my husband one day, I'm not doing that shit. We're just signing the fucking paperwork and we're going out for a day by ourselves. No one else. Fuck everyone else. Not even my family. Because my family wouldn't want to come anyway. Good grief, they're such fucking bigots. I mean, at least my mom's tolerable. She's tolerating it. She's nice about it, at least. But good fucking grief, my grandparents. Oh my god, I hate my grandparents sometimes. Murdoch sits in the middle, head bowed, posture bent over like one in prayer. But to whom or for what, I wouldn't know. Don't we all know it's bad luck for a bride and groom to see one another on their wedding day? They don't look like they're talking, but none of them look at the altar like they're too uncomfortable to look at it. We're not looking at one another. The church is a place for thinking, not speaking. He doesn't elaborate. Murdoch stands up and looks to his sister. I look forward to a lot of thoughts once this day is through. He stands, looks at me, and smiles. Then he holds out an elbow for me. What are you doing? Just getting some practice. That's not his voice. He yokes his elbow with mine and walks me up the aisle on the opposite side of the altar, toward the dark stained glass doors of the entrance. We're supposed to go the opposite way. Shuts me up with a kiss. Little tongue, and I try not to panic, but Jim and Holly can't see us from here, and there's nobody near the entrance. He pushes away with a small smack. What was that for? Just the reminder that I needed that I'm not single to wedding today. You're so needy. This is fucking. I don't like this. Obviously, this isn't like it. I mean, me and him aren't dating, but this is just like me and my friend George. This is such a fucking. Oh my god. Of course, I'm the needy one, and he's the one that's the Sam in this instance, but still. Oh boy. He nods. That's right. Speaking of needy, I'm gonna need you to put on your phone away you forgot at the apartment. Oh, right. I did forget to bring it. Thanks. Thank Ralph. Thanks, Rat. You really ought to freshen up before you put on the full wear, though. That was the plan. Here, there's a bathroom we can fix you up in. A small yelp escapes me as he practically drags me into the bathroom. But in the sticking desert, I don't think anybody is going to complain too much about the inevitability of body odor. Sounds like an excuse to me. Foxes smell worse than mountain lions, you realize. That just means we have to try harder. Oh, no. You could be caught, you two. Do you want to be caught fucking? He brushes his cheek against my muscle and slips his tail around my leg. The crisp smell of citrus blends with the slightly sweet and skunky smell of fox, along with the creamy, clean shaving cream. Why would you need shaving cream? What? He scrubs me down with a wet bar of soap and splashes me with water over in the suit, hanging me on the door. This is stupid and ridiculous. Well fit for House of God. Frankly, he'd be less offended if we committed acts of obscenity. I'm more scared what Mother would think if she caught us than God. Don't even joke about that. Who says I'm joking? Scrubbing splashes and sniff tests, he finally deemed me appropriate to put on the suit. Then he dabbed some sort of oil from a bottle behind my wrists and my ears and made me smell like a campfire. Let's not use too much. Remember, this is a wedding, not a funeral pyre. He smiles, he fixes my tie and buttons my cufflinks. Now, I still have some things to take care of. Please lend a hand where it's needed. Well, now let's keep professional distance throughout the ceremony. He rests his hand on my shoulder, his smile falters a bit, and then he brings me in for a much tighter hug, with his face buried in my chest. Me? Literally me. Good fucking lord. Well, not with Sam. No, not Sam. There's someone else that, yeah. Let's make the best of this day. Unpleasantries aside. The door slides out quickly, footsteps fading as he walks away. I look in the mirror and make sure I'm as presentable as he wants me to be. I want to step out at the door. I look down the pew and see that Jim and Holly aren't in the front. Jim isn't in the chapel at all. Holly is sitting at the pew closest to the bathroom near both the only exits in the chapel. I try to walk past with her back to me, but she speaks. You're quite close with my brother, aren't you? That's not her voice. You're quite close to my brother, aren't you? You're as close as any shopkeep can be to his employer, ma'am. Quite. He turns right around to look at me. Yet it's clear you aren't a mere shopkeep nor a servant. How much is he paying you? I don't disclose my paycheck, ma'am. He purses her lips and opens her pocketbook. Takes out a thin slip of paper. So this is a blank check. Write the amount you'd like me to pay you to quit today. I don't have the time or there to be civil today, so I'd like to be done with this. Ma'am, at this point, I don't think you could afford to send me home. Just write the number. She hands me a pen and I take it. I write $500 in the empty space. $500 in 1915. I need to check this. I'm checking this right now. Yeah, I'm checking this. What's inflation? What is inflation done? What is inflation done to $500 in 100 and something years? I have to know. I have to know. 108 years. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let me just check. I'm gonna check. Yeah, let's fucking check. Let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out, everybody. Let's fucking find out. $15,133.22. Jesus Christ, Sam. That is enough to make you rich. Holy shit. If there's no way she's given him this. $15,000? Yeah, nah. What? What? I'm sorry, if someone said, write down the number, and I wrote fucking $15,000, and they said, oh yeah, that's doable, I think I'd fucking faint. It is? I should have made the number higher to get the point across. Take the pen back and write 500. $50,000. That's not happening, buddy. 50,000. I have to check this one now. I have to check this now. Yes, I do. I'm checking this now. Oh boy. Oh, how did I guess? How did I guess? $1,513,321.78. Yeah, that's not happening. You're not getting $1 million, buddy. Then I give her the pen back. Okay, so you're not actually interested in money. Suspicious for an ordinary shopkeep, considering that's the point of why you work. So what exactly are you working for? I don't have a great retort to that. Loyalty. I see doubt caught her eyes and her brow furrow. If we weren't in a church, you'd probably okay! No! No! Not saying that despite being one myself. At any moment, but I can tell that she's not looking for a fight yet. So you're genuine to my brother, then. Good for him and good for you. But do you really think staying in this town will be good for him? The opportunities that Jim can open for us are the best thing that could happen to us right now. I can feel that we're running out of time. How does one feel such a thing? Because it's happened before. My asthma and its effect upon this city are well documented in the town hall. Effects such as migraines, shared dreams, hallucinations, escalated acts of violence. All of the men who died left bones and grave markers behind, where it was stated where they were buried. Reading a tall tale is one thing. Living through an act of providence is another. God and not Satan, you think? Maybe we do have something in common. God made Satan, you fool. He is the end and the beginning. You'd be fools to stay here as like the men is I was waiting for you to bring them up, you fucking cunt! Oh boy, now let me say something about fucking Sodom and Gomorrah. What the fuck? Okay, if you actually read the fucking story, I think you'll find that the reason God is pissed off at those two places is because they wanted to rape his angels. I think you'll find that's the reason he fucking obliterated them. Not the fact that men were boning each other. I think it was the fact they wanted to do it to angels. Against their will. Yeah, I think that was the reason. But okay. And maybe he'll leave. Not a chance. I Damn right, I'm locked in place here. Didn't expect her to say that. Ralph wants to leave Echo, too. A quick and concerning shriek of laughter. And lose his honeypot? His business is good here. So good that he has my brother hooked on his drugs, too. Last thing he'd ever do is leave. Certainly before it's too late, anyway. Fuck you too, bitch. Fuck you too. At this point, I can't tell if one of them is lying to me or if they just genuinely distrust one another. I think it's both, or they just don't trust each other. This goes deeper. Might have started on the day their brother died. Maybe before that. Why isn't your mother concerned? Because she's stubborn and faithless. She's not nearly as close to God as she claimed. Everybody knows. Oh, close to God? Oh, the big old G-O-D. Oh. I think you'll find the correct term for him is Yahweh, but whatever. Actually, let me just look this up real quick. What is the actual word? What is the actual word? Yeah, I thought so. No, it's Hebrew. It's not Arabic. I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, I want to see. Oh, it doesn't even show it. It doesn't even show it. Yeah, Elohim. That's the right one. Yeah, I had that in my head somewhere. Elohim. That's what you should be saying, because that's the God that you're talking about. But you Christians, you came along and you bastardized all of it because it didn't suit your morality, which, to be honest, I'm not surprised considering how fucking despicable the actions of this God are. Enough of this stuff, religious stuff. But they don't care because she gets things done. That won't matter when there's a reckoning. I fucking hate you. I genuinely hope you die. I hope you're torn apart, limb from limb, by that spider demon. If you can manage to help him find a way out, then you won't have an enemy in me. If you want to fill my survival plans, you will find my hour potent. She stands to look me over once more. Now, if you please, my families expect my appearance. She turns away and disappears behind a sliding wooden door. What a kid she is. I hear Jim's voice but don't see him. Until I realize he's sitting on the floor against the wall, smoking a cigarette. You shouldn't be smoking in church. And you shouldn't be swallowing my seed. Funny how these scruples based on lunacy wash over us. Okay, I didn't like Jim to begin with, but he's kind of grown on me, actually. Like, I'm actually surprised that I'm kind of enjoying a character whose first impression I had was a fucking bigoted sexist. So, oh boy. He flicks a bit of ash to the carpet. Relax. I won't burn us all down, much as I'd like to. Chuckles bitterly, then goes back to smoking. So what did you make about Holly's speech? About God? To me incredulously. Who the hell knows? She got making up all this folklore and crystal nonsense for some other aim of hers. Mine's are weird, though. I feel the soreness in my head throb. Weird how? Irregular layouts that seem like they should promote cave instability, but they're stable. Copious numbers of carbon monoxide pockets without a clear source of emissions. Traces of gold that should lead to a logical vein, but which do not. And more quartz than you would care to see, though. That's not unusual by any means. Quartz is the most abundant mineral in the crust of this planet. I wouldn't be giving these ideas a thought if not for the delirium it's casting on Holly. She's genuinely scared. Don't take my acknowledgement as forgiveness or concern. She's crossed the line with me that she can't uncross. Are you still going through with the marriage then? Is there any other recourse? 2 of the 3 sets of foes have been destroyed. He nods. That's half, which makes it worthless. Even if you go through with the wedding ceremony, you don't have to make it legal. There would still be time, so long as you still go through with the ceremony. Gives me an impatient look. I'm here, aren't I? What nags you all are. Because clearly you don't need any help. Don't patronize me. You're getting things out of this performance too. Only thing I want is Holly's blood out of y'all's mess. A mess that he contributed to, as you so wisely reminded me of yesterday. Should we rejoin the party then, groom? Hold out my hand to him, beckon impatiently. Gives it a look like he has a soiled rag, but he takes it and lifts himself to his legs. Man, where is this update gonna end? I'm actually interested. As he returned to the veranda, by now, the population of attendees has grown threefold. There's even more women present who I don't recognize. Hardly any of them seem to be as young as Holly, which isn't surprising considering the demographic of the city. So I'm not surprised most of them would be Gretchen's friends and associates rather than Holly's. But I didn't expect to see her. Fucking... Oh, I don't remember your voice. Oh my god, my fucking headphones are falling off. Okay. Right. Fucking... Ugh. Alright. Good afternoon, Mrs. Burns. Afternoon is great, Dora, and so is the company. I'm glad you decided to attend. Echo wouldn't be the same without a Burns matriarch, would it, Gretchen? Of course, I have an interest in this event. She crosses her arms. No bar, I see. No need. This is a family event. Of course, there's still a variety of unique beverages to choose from our menu, and they don't require alcohol. Cynthia looks like she's trying to change the subject. It's sure working. Ah, there's the bride-to-be. Oh, Miss Saranzo. You look as stunning as that. Saranzo, that's a name. Only flatter yourself today, girl. This is your day. Please excuse my humility then, Mrs. Serrano. Miss Serrano, Jesus. Humility is an overrated quality. A small laugh and turns to her mother, but Gretchen's eyes only for the madam. Well spoken. Ah, and there is the chrome. Jim is sitting by himself, sipping a glass of suspiciously dark-colored liquid. Looks like he's adjusting the pocket of his coat before any onlookers reach the table. Dora smirks a bit, quite likely for several reasons. Gretchen either isn't picking anything up or is choosing to ignore it. Looks like he'll show your daughter a thing or two about excitement. My good sir, are you lonely sitting at the table all by yourself? It's reserved for his friends and his parents. So why is it empty? I was about to ask that myself. It's a good question, Jim. I'm not impressed by how she can say that, with a trace of edge in her voice. Can really sound dangerous if you know. This must be the first time I felt an uncanny resemblance between her and her brother. But Jim just shrugged. My friend had caught a travel sickness. They were under the weather last night. What a shame. As are my parents. Neither absence nor tardiness is their style. They should be here. Perhaps the train had some difficulties? That's not unusual as of late. I haven't heard talk about that before, but from the tone of her voice it sounds serious. Well, they have 30 minutes before the beginning of the ceremony. Too many people have taken the time out of their lives to be here, so postponement is out of the question. You can pay for a second ceremony what there is said about it. Don't fret. I'm sure that won't be necessary. Well, maybe you should be less sure. If I missed my daughter's ceremony, I'd be devastated. Showing a mother wouldn't be happy missing the most important day of your life. Jim gives her a very thin smile as he drinks from his glass. Until he's doing so to prevent himself from speaking. Let's just hope for the best instead of worrying ourselves over something that hasn't even happened. If the train doesn't make it, it's nobody's fault. Speaking in earnest, does she think he has something to do with their absence? Ain't possible to tell, really. He knew he told his friend not to come last night, but all his family and friends being gone is suspicious. Right then. I should go practice my vows. I as well. They walk in opposite direction while the crowd sort of hovers around the empty table. Let me refill your drinks. Jim walks in my direction when he suddenly stops. I think he's gonna talk me for a moment. I feel somebody step out of my shadow. I brought it for you. Brought me what? Not a problem to Jim, showing him a silver coin. Thank you, but I won't be needing it. Old Fox's brow lifts and her eyes twinkle a bit. You sure, laddie? Quiet. He closes her palm. I just don't have the time for this right now. Lily struts away. Murdoch's grandmother nods and smiles a little smile. I see. Best I do keep it then. She doesn't seem too fussed for somebody whose family tradition was just spurned. Wonder why. The pipe organ from the church begins to play. People on the veranda start standing, moving aimlessly in the direction of the church where the crowd of people are unclogging their way. Sam, aren't you supposed to be helping people get to their seats? Why's that? Because you're dressed like an usher. I think Mr. Burns said I am one of those. Ushers help people get to their seats. Nobody told me. Have you not been to a wedding before? Mustard-looking Murdoch pushes through a door, looking left and right until he spots us. Makes his way towards us very carefully, excusing himself liberally as he passes through the gaggle of people. There you are, Sam. Ralph has most of the people bottleneck at the east door, but it could get pretty dangerous if we don't get help. Help how? Help how? Nobody told me how to help. Just guide half a dozen people in to make sure they get to their seats. It's not that difficult. No, he's right. I should have prepared him better, but the way everybody's trying to rush in at once. So where have you been? Well, Dolly's not here. Oh. She's normally so quiet and gentle that I wouldn't have noticed her gone. Where is she? Nobody knows. They were just giving Jim shit about his family. At least he had the excuse of them being out of town. Almost an hour and a half. Cool. So what now? Church music changes again. I guess now we have to usher. It's been 2 days. Who is this? 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 Is this Nikolai? Is this James? Is this James Hendricks the third? Who is this? It's been 2 days down here in the dark and not much to go off of but our normal marks. There's enough food in the tromping grounds to last me a month if I have to, but if Melissa's alive, I'll be damned if I spend another day without letting her eat. Oh my fucking god. This is Blythe, right? This is Blythe. I can't believe she did this for Mary of all people. No way in hell that girl would have done all that for her. Sometimes I think I should have kept my mouth shut. You're gonna be fucking dead if you go down here. Should have teased her less about her grades. And then I remember that should-haves and would-haves don't fucking matter. Do something now, and Lord above, help anybody who wants to stand in my way. Melissa never saw the man who was chasing her, but she heard him. Ain't nobody ever heard for that matter. That's useful in some ways. Above me in the tunnels, I see a man in the ray of lights from time to time. He's certainly not a person, because he smiles at me with his jack-o'-lantern grin that's too big for his face, and he stares at me with no eyes but skin covered tight over the sockets. Like you would wind the skin of an animal over a drum. George, I'm just gonna say this, buddy. George, the writer here of the smoke room, you are amazing. You are fucking amazing. But when I keep walking up to him, he just vanishes into motes of dust. The spirit seems to think it's taunting because I'm looking for a man who is a monster. The reality is that I am looking for a man who is a coward. A man who would exchange the lives of little girls and boys for just more time to waste on this planet. I can be terrible too if I need to be. But as I keep looking, occasionally I'll hear real men in the distance. Yesterday it was mostly miners with their pickaxes shouting things to one another. Today has been oddly quiet. I don't like the mines! I don't want to be in the mines! Get me out of the mines! I don't want to be in here! Fucking get us out! They suck! I hate them! Like there's nobody working the mine. That could be bad. If my dad notices I'm gone early, then he'll probably figure out where I'm gone and send a search party. If that happens and I lose Melissa, she's already dead. She's already dead, Blythe. I keep... That just sounds like I said Blythe Wit. Like, you know, that dude. It sounds like I'm saying his name, but it's Blythe, right? This looks right. This looks like where she found Mary. Right, because she saw the vision through her eye. Oh my god, she knows. I didn't think about that. I forgot. It's back to me now. She saw this in a dream. She saw, okay. But I don't see any trace of a body. Or if it was here, it's not anymore. Yeah, he probably ate it. It probably ate the body. Was I wrong? Doesn't matter. I'm still going to look. That spirit is in the light again. He changed his look slightly. He has eyes too small for his face, and long black claws he likes to wriggle at me, clicking against the rock. Ugh, my god, that description. Just enough. This description is just enough for you to imagine this yourself. And that's so much better. I'm starting to wish spirits were physical so I could bite into it and know what it tastes like. I'm getting pretty hungry again. It disappears again on account I got too close to another light beam. Melissa! I shout into the cave and my voice echo throughout the tunnels. Nobody responds. Don't wake those who sleep, child. Nobody who matters anyway. I climb one of the shallower rock slopes. Melissa! Noisome people oft have noisome ends. Melissa! I shout even louder. You have to be quiet, or else it will come back. There's a cracked voice calling out to me. The sound of the voice comes from between a very tight pairing of perpendicular vertical rock. I'd know that voice anywhere, cracked or not. I don't waste any more time and slide in between the stones. There's even more of a slope upward and the light coming from the ceiling. That's what she looks like, okay. In the darkness, I start to see her, crumpled against the rock. She's dirty and disheveled and looks at least 10 years older than she used to. But she's alive. Blythe? Yes. Is that you? Are you real? Yes. Oh my god, it's really you. I shake her and laugh. Well, of course it's me. Who else would it be? All I do when I see her is take her into a tight hug. I knew those piece of shit tunnels wouldn't be the end of you. Come on, let's get out of here. I took her hand, but she resists. What are you waiting for? Blythe, I can't. I don't want to go out there. It's fine. They killed Mary. She just said. No pauses, no stuttering. A Melissa Boyk fact is always stated, like how she states the weather. Some people might tell you that the mood outside is a little bit dreary. Some might not bother looking at all. Those people might tell you there's a chance of clouds. They won't commit too hard to a lie they told for being lazy, which they don't want to get caught in. Some people wear a tornado and shake their heads and hide, refusing to get to the cellar. But if it's wet outside, Melissa will be the one who tells you it's raining. She knows there's no way around that. That even if it might be sunny tomorrow, you need an umbrella now. Some people did, yes. And if we run into them, I'm gonna be the one who's doing the killing. Blythe, there's a monster. Those can't hurt you. How do you know? You ain't dead, are ya? It was too big. Then why would it be? No, why would a spirit be confined to physical space like that? I don't know if there's rules or not. I don't think they can only hurt dead people. I think they can only hurt dead people. How do you know that? Because they had plenty of opportunities to hurt me, I think. She holds her arm and crouches down. Now that I think about it, what have you been eating down here? You've had to have been down here for what, 4 or 5 days? I lucked out. Lucked out? How do you mean lucked out? Young woman. It's coming from the direction of the light. Young woman, are you still down? Who is this? Who's that? Is there another one of you? You knew she's been down here. Blythe, stop it! He's always been giving me food. But he didn't tell anybody? Now, young lady, I've done everything allowed up your friend to the extent that I granted from a very table. Wait a minute. I think I recognize that voice. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it! They're making a deal with the fucking thing. I fucking knew it. I knew it. God, that's so vindicating. Good God. Are you James Hendricks? Owner of the mines? Co-owner with Mr. Briggs, yes. Okay, then that's perfect. Since I'm here, I'm gonna help you. Miss Little, she's weak. Those sounds like filing cabinets. Man, I've been away for the last few days, and my hands are a bit tired. What? Are you familiar with the idea of a strike, young lady? Yes. I don't care about that. Listen, needs help right now. I keep telling you that he's helping me, Blythe. At least Miss Bullock understands the concept of civility, Miss Blythe. My last name is Washington. I think I employ Washington. You do, that's my dad. Right. He wouldn't be happy to have you girls trapezing down in my mines, you know. It's okay. Come out, you're gonna come find us now. So again, what with all the union activity? My dad isn't striking. We don't have the money to spare. Could you please go get help now? What I'm getting at, Miss Washington, is that if 2 very weak young girls are pulled out of my mind, the papers would have a field day and the strikers would grow bold. Mr. Hendricks? Okay, well, I don't care. You would still like to go. Right. You know, that space up there looks big enough for me and Melissa to climb up. Just throw us down a rope and we climb out ourselves. You needs to be sneaky about this. Still risky. So, what do you suggest we do? Well, the Union trouble should blow over in just a couple of days. Why don't you stay put? Mr. Hendricks! I sigh play loud so he can hear me. First of all, a couple days means 2. You seem to imply that's a minimum. Secondly, that I normalists will be staying down here for one more single day. Just pull us out, though we'll make up some lie about you're a hero and handsome and stuff. You'll look great. Is that a deal? Charles again will wait for him to respond again. That sounds pretty great, right? Oh my god. Oh, what? Oh my god! What's going on up there? I'm so sorry, girls. Right as the hole goes partially dark. What the hell? Mr. Hendricks! This is for our own benefit, I promise. Mr. Hendricks, please! Light in the hole goes completely dark. Mrs. starts screaming. Just drop us a rope, you fucking asshole! He sealed it up. I know, we're gonna have to go back. But we can't go back. Yes, we can. Been in this cave 100 times. We'll be fine, okay? She nods, but I can tell her heart is entirely in it. She's cooperating with me, which is all I need. We're getting out. We're gonna be okay. What the hell made him run off like that? Goddamn coward, son of a bitch! So the strike is why I didn't hear anybody earlier. But as we're running through the tunnels, I can hear somebody. There's somebody close by one of the tunnels. I can't go near anybody. Any one of them might try to hurt us. Especially if it's that awful man. He's not trying to be quiet. We know that. We know what the other man sounds like. Take the time to listen to his voice. He sounds panicked. And his voice is deep. Much deeper than whatever Melissa heard. But what's he saying? You're saying arson, huh? You're saying arson. Pulpkalis. I think I've heard that language before. Central European. I think I've heard that word before. You can speak it? No, but one of my dad's friends is Lach. I think it means arsonist? You don't think there's a fire in the tunnel, do you? This just got real bad for us if there is. We see a very large man running through the beam of light towards us. I think he's a bear. No, he's Nikolai! Oh my god, Nick! Hey, stop! What? Little girls, you shouldn't be down here. It's not safe, you have to run. Yeah, no shit. Are you fucking joking? Fuck! Oh my god, I got so invested in that, now we're back here. Fuck you. This video is almost 2 hours long, holy shit. That's not fair. It's not fucking fair, Kim. Oh my god. Oh, this is so fucking cool. Oh, Nikolai, I love you. Ushering is more work than I figured it would be with a crowd this big. I wipe my brow and glance left and right to make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. Everybody who's present, anyway. As soon as we get everybody into the chapel, the real wedding music starts to play. Oh yeah, dun 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 dun, that bullshit. Gretchen's the first to walk up, standing next to the priest. She guards the crowd with a thin smile. Crowd with a thin smile as her mother walks up the aisle, taking a seat at the front. Dahlia is still noticeably missing. Jim appears next and walks up the aisle by himself toward Gretchen. Though I might describe it as more of a skulk than a walk. Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. Holly appears next and walks up the aisle with Elfred holding her arm. She's as radiant as ever, especially standing next to her father. The room hangs onto the priest, who inhales for a moment, then slips his forked tongue out of his forked tongue. Another more, please. He pauses for a long while. Is something the matter, Father? Oh, it's a snake, damn it. The snake looked like he's going to say something, but Mrs. Burns speaks first. Does anybody else smell smoke? Dora stands and points out the window. The Hendricks Manor is on fire! It's fucking burning! Oh my god. It's here, the fucking mansion fire that was foreshadowed in Flynn's route way back in Echo. Oh my god, it's happening! I have been waiting for this. How is this gonna play out? Dora stands and points out the window. Hendricks Manor! In the view of the window, we see a thick column of black smoke rising from the building, billowing into the sky. I fucking thought so, mate! Hell yes! I was waiting for this! Oh man, this is... okay. Church door bursts open. We see both Neil and Reuben panting and disheveled with sweat. To be continued. That's a fucking great cliffhanger, but fuck you. This is Murdoch. I'm saved now. Oh my fucking god, I'm so happy. That is... oh my god. I am so... oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes! We're definitely getting somewhere now, guys. These are all the people that worked on this. George, Red, you guys are amazing. Also, everybody else, obviously. Everybody else is also amazing. Alright, everybody, that was Murdoch's latest update. And oh boy, I am really, really happy with it. So much happened there. So much. We got more insight into Murdoch's family. We got some more insight into Holly and her fear of the town itself, and you know, all these stuff that's been happening. We met Mother Rowan, which, oh my god, she's amazing. I like her already the best out of the family members. Oh my god, this is Jim's actually a pretty decent character. He's fleshed out enough for me to like him. And that scene in the mine, that brief bit we got, that's oh my god. I can't wait to see where this is gonna go. I cannot wait, man. And if I had to guess, the Nikolai update is going to also be the same thing. It's going to be the manor, the Hendricks Manor burning down. I have a feeling it's going to be that. So, thank y'all for watching. I will see you in the next video, which is going to be Nick's update. Fuck off now. Oh, bye-bye. Dun dun dun.